What's up, guys? JD Venom here, part of Venom Nation Wrestling, and this is my NXT review tonight from Full Sail University. NXT building up, I guess, towards NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. They haven't announced it yet, but you can see some seeds being planted with certain things tonight that we saw here. And, yeah, it was a fairly, easy show to watch tonight because it's only an hour long. A lot easier than Monday Night Raw, and a lot easier than SmackDown. Even SmackDown last night wasn't the best show, but SmackDown is easier to watch, than Raw, and NXT is easier to watch than both shows because NXT is only an hour long. Before we begin here, be sure to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, be sure to follow me on Twitter, and like the Facebook page where both links are down below. Tell your friends and family you can join the JD Venom Nation on YouTube. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be having up on my channel here my my WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view preview/predictions. So be sure to come out for that. Go check out my SmackDown review from last night. Go check out my Monday Night Raw review from last night as well. And also, on top of all of that, this Friday, we got some news for the Getting Over podcast. Some news on, Braun Strowman. If he's actually clear to return. There is some news on Braun Strowman and his status, his injury status. Also as well, more news on why Finn Balor was not there at last night's Raw. Or not last night's Raw, but on Monday's Raw. But some plenty of news coming as well, and also there's gonna be more news most likely going into Money in the Bank, so hopefully we will have some more news for you guys on Friday. Follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page where both links down below. Tell your friends and family to come and join the JD Venom Nation here on YouTube. And tonight's WWE NXT live from Full Sail University was a easy watch tonight. We did see our main event, which was headlined by the WWE, I was going to say WWE, but the NXT Women's title being on the line as the undefeated Asuka goes in a triple threat elimination match against Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. But before we get to our main event of the show here, we're going to start at the very beginning. Tonight we saw Drew McIntyre go up against Rob Rising. And he won via pinfall with the Claymore single leg Yakuza kick to Rob Rising. Right now, they're keeping building up Drew McIntyre here. We may see Roddy Strong versus Bobby Roode, maybe on NXT TV, maybe at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. But Drew McIntyre will be the man to take the title off of Bobby Roode. It's just obvious. Drew McIntyre, Bobby Roode, that feud, that collision course is inevitable at this point. You know what I mean? I was gonna say Aleister Black, but I think they're focusing on Drew McIntyre just a smidge more. But Drew McIntyre defeats Rob Rising tonight via pinfall with the single leg Yakuza kick, aka the Claymore. We saw the replay of last week's promo, or segment, if you're going to call it, of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, the iconic duo, ran into the room backstage at the Performance Center as she was signing her medical release paperwork 2 weeks ago. And basically, we learned that Peyton Royce will face off against Ember Moon next week. We get a Aleister Black hype video, so keeping Aleister Black in the loop. So, nothing much to say there. I don't think he's in action next week. It was just a promo package video of him. After that, we saw the Authors of Pain defeated some guys. I don't know. I don't know who they were. It wasn't really the Authors of Pain, really. It was Akam. Akam from the Authors of Pain destroyed both opponents, okay? While Paul Ellering was outside with Razor talking strategy for the match, which I thought was pretty funny because both were outside. Ellering and Razor, they're talking strategy for the match, but meanwhile in the ring, Akam just destroyed both those guys and hit them with it was a nice little maneuver that like a power type slam that Akam did to the jobber there. I don't know the jobber's name. I don't know these jobbers' names because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who these jobbers' names were because the match ended in less than 2 minutes. That's all you need to know. But the main thing, and we're start seeing those little seeds. And those little seeds are being planted now for Heavy Machinery versus the Authors of Pain. That is your next feud of the Authors of Pain and Heavy Machinery, and I believe that Heavy Machinery is going to take the titles off the Authors of Pain, giving them their first loss in NXT. I believe that's what's going to happen. If that's going to happen at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, so be it. But anyway, we see Ellering get on the mic and says that Heavy Machinery are as foolish as they are large. They've been here for a year and are still undefeated. Have we not read the Book of Pain? He lists the teams that they've beaten. So basically, he lists off the DIY, Revival, TM61, American Alpha. He names all the teams that they beat, all the major teams that they have beaten. And says that they want to write the first chapter in their Book of Dominance. And Heavy Machinery don't even rate a footnote. They won't even make it in as a footnote on this new Book of Dominance that Paul Ellering is saying that's going to happen. This brings out Heavy Machinery of Otis Dokovic and Tucker Knight. They go ahead and get into the ring and going nose to nose in a stare down with the Authors of Pain. Paul Ellering pulls them back and gets them to leave. I like it. I think that Heavy Machinery is more over than what people are thinking. AOP is finally starting to get chance in Full Sail. I mean, it took them about a year, but they're finally getting chance in Full Sail of AOP. But be that as it may, I think this match here, the dynamic between these four guys will be won't say a great tag team match. I'm not saying it's going to be DIY versus the Revival or anything, but I am saying that it's going to give us a different dynamic for the tag team division. I expect when they finally meet for it to be put on a well-performed match. I'm kind of hesitant to say well-performed because we know that bigger guys can't really perform in the ring that well, but it's going to be definitely a different dynamic of seeing the Authors of Pain finally going up against a team that's just as big as them. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be I won't say it's gonna be a great match. I'm reserved, but I don't want to say it's gonna be a bad match either. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna see how this all plays out with Heavy Machinery and Authors of Pain, most likely at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and we're just gonna have to see on how that becomes and how the buildup is actually gonna pan out going into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. After that, we did get a segment here. I will say segment here, but after that we did get not really a segment, but a highlight package of Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode's promo from last week. Basically it was taking us up to Tom Phillips reading a tweet from Roddy Strong and says about how he's seen a bunch of guys like Rude and only needs one shot to take him down. So this match is going to happen. One match is going to happen between Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong. Question is it going to be at NXT TakeOver, TakeOver Brooklyn, or is it going to be on NXT tapings that's going to set to happen maybe in the next couple of weeks? So we're going to have to wait and see here because, typically between NXT, this last NXT event, and Brooklyn, they still need to do some more taping. I think they're taped all the way up until the end of the month. So we got 2 more NXT shows for the end of June. We still gotta look out for the July taping. So let's see how this pans out. They may do July up into early August, whenever the SummerSlam weekend is. So we're going to see how this pans out, and, hopefully, I will say that I'd rather for them to do it on NXT TV, get it out the way, and, I can't really say that either, because if you do it on NXT TV, what the problem that we're going to lie into is that the build for Rude and McIntyre may be lackluster, so I will say, after just thinking about that right now, just push it out to NXT take over Brooklyn. That'll be your match. You know, Bobby Roode versus Roderick Strong. I have no issues with that. Maybe Drew McIntyre could go up against somebody else. Maybe Aleister Black could go up against somebody else. I don't know. We'll see. But I just don't think there's enough promo time, or enough time between NXT takeover. I'm sorry, between this NXT takeover Chicago and NXT takeover Brooklyn. But we'll wait and see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll just have to wait because they're gonna be doing some more tapings for July in the next couple weeks. We get a Sonya Deville promo, hyping up her MMA background. What they're saying, I didn't ask for this. I was born for this, and put your hair up and square up. I guess that's gonna be our catchphrase. Sonya Deville, if you guys don't remember, she's the chick, like I was saying, she's the MMA chick. I'm glad that they're highlighting a new woman that they want to build up. You got Asuka, you got Ruby Riott, you got Nikki Cross, you got the iconic duo of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. You got Bay number 4 on the list, or Bay number 5. No, Bay number 5 is Maurice. Bay number 4 in top 5 Bays, Liv Morgan. She's still down there in NXT, and you got Aaliyah. So that's a lot of women. They need to start building up, and also as well, you got the women's tournament coming up. You got the Mae Young Classic coming up. I'm seeing Sonya Deville being in there. I mean, just by looking at that, I'm seeing Sonya Deville in there. What's the other chick's name? Lacey Duvall, I think her name is, or Lucy Duvall, something like that. I can see her being in as well. I see a few NXT women's talent being in there for sure. And of course, some women from the outside as well, from the indies. Some who they signed, not Kojo Hiro, but she's not going to be in there. And not the Io Shari, I think that's the other woman's name from Japan. But be that as it may, yeah, we got that little promo segment, that little hype video for Sonya Deville. We get the Velveteen Dream, who defeated Raul Mendoza. Raul Mendoza was from the Cruiserweight Classic. He went up against Brian Kendrick in the first round. He lost against Brian Kendrick in that first round in the Cruiserweight Classic. Raul Mendoza, he looked good. I mean, he got a little bit of offense in against Patrick Clark, a.k.a. the Velveteen Dream. But Patrick Clark, I mean, he looked impressive in Chicago, when they had the NXT tapings before TakeOver Chicago. Tonight wasn't as good. I'm still reserved. He had a good showing, not a great showing. He had a good showing in Chicago. Not as good tonight, but I will say one thing. That elbow drop 2 times in a row, it looks beautiful the way he drops down. He didn't really hit him, but this time, but just the way his motion in the air, he has no motion. It's just a stiff elbow drop. Just the way he comes down, looks just like Macho Man Randy Savage. Gets a lot of height. He's very athletic. He's athletic as shit. Is Patrick Clark. And I also like his little rollover Death Valley driver as well. So it wasn't like a regular Death Valley driver or AA. He kind of did like a cartwheel with it when he did the Death Valley driver. So interesting, and the fans at Full Sail are not really behind him as of yet, but he's gonna gradually climb his way up that ladder in NXT. Do I see him going after the NXT title? No. If they come out with a mid-card title, can I see him going after that? Yes. He's just gonna be like one of those guys right now, Hideo Itami, Oni Lorcan, Cassius Ono, Roderick Strong. He may be going after the title, but I don't actually see him winning the NXT title. I just don't see it. It's pretty much impossible in my eyes right now, at this time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it turns down the road. Maybe a year from now. Maybe be the highest thing in NXT and he's going after the NXT title. But I'm seeing him like a Ty Dillinger, or he's a heel right now. I think he may eventually turn face, because I think the fans will naturally end up getting behind him. Either he's gonna swim or he's gonna sink, and if he sinks, he's gonna sink hard, and he's not gonna be heard from again. But he loves the business. He was one of those guys from Tough Enough, the reboot Tough Enough with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he was one of those guys that actually wanted to be in WWE. So seeing him now, one of the I won't say one. I don't think he was one of the first guys eliminated, but seeing one of those guys that was eliminated early on in the competition, and to see him, he's the only one that is left from that Tough Enough class, speaks volumes. ZZ's gone, Big Andy's gone. You know what I mean? Like, all those guys are gone out of there. Oh, was it Andy? No, that was the one on USA Network. They had another. Who won the other one? I forget who won the other one. Someone's gonna tell me. Someone's gonna tell me in the comments after this video here. But let me look it up real quick. Actually, let me look it up real quick. Tough Enough. That's how. That's how uneventful these guys from Tough Enough remember. That I can remember from Tough Enough. So let's see here. So Big Andy was back in like 2010 or wherever the hell it was, with Stone Cold on the USA Network. That was the season 5. Was it season 5? Yeah, season 5. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, Andy defeated Luke. Yeah, that's right. That's fucking right. This one here was Josh. Josh? Who the fuck is Josh? I don't remember Josh. Actually, are you fucking kidding me? I remember Josh. I remember Sarah. I remember ZZ. I don't remember Josh. I remember Gigi. Patrick Clark. You know what I mean? I remember those. I just don't remember Josh. Mata. Another guy, Mata. What happened to Mata? Now I'm talking about Tough Enough seasons, guys. What happened to Mata? Jesus Christ. Oh, this guy, the Yeti. After seeing his picture, the Yeti. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember this guy now. After looking at him, the Yeti. Oh my God, bro. Good Lord. Okay. Let's get back on track. The Yeti. Oh my God. Terrible. Be that as it may, yeah, the OT wins with the top rope elbow drop. We saw the end of the Oni Lorcan Hideo Itami match last week with the run of Cassius Ohno, which sends us to Kayla Braxton interviewing Ohno. Ohno, asking where the friendship is between Ohno and Itami. Cash says he doesn't know where their friendship stands, but he shouldn't have sunk to his level. He knows that Dale is frustrated, and he wants to lead by example. So William Regal next week gave him a match between Cassius Ohno and Aleister Black. That is going to be a huge, hard, stiff match next week. I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And I was reminding myself, like, oh, is Aleister Black going to be involved next week? I forgot about that. So, yeah, Aleister Black versus Cassius Ohno next week, guys. Hard, stiff match, and that's going to be the main event, and that's going to be great. So, you're kind of stacked next week. You got Ember Moon and Payne Royce and Aleister Black versus Cassius Ohno. Can't wait for next week. Cannot wait for next week. After that, we got our main event of the night. We got Asuka, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Nikki Cross versus Ruby Riott in a triple threat elimination match for the Women's Championship. This match here, I don't want to say as good as their Brooklyn match, or not as Brooklyn match, as good as their Chicago match. I would say it's about the same. I mean, Ruby Riott, she is over with me. I think she's a great performer. I don't know what it is about the NXT fans that has not adapted to her as of yet. They kind of pop for her, but not really. But no one was really getting much pops, except for Asuka, of course. Even Nikki Cross kind of got like a meh. But that's because she didn't have an interest either. She just came in the ring like a fucking maniac bitch that she is. So, but be that as it may, though, I mean, this match was wasn't great, wasn't horrible either. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a bad match. I'm not gonna trash the match overall. I thought it was a decent match. We see Ruby Riott get eliminated first. Nikki Cross hits like a top rope spinning neckbreaker. She had her feet planted on the top turnbuckle and had her in DDT position, but turned into a spinning neckbreaker. And for the 1, 2, 3 pinfall as Ruby Riott gets eliminated. We go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and we see Nikki Cross and Asuka immediately take it outside the ring. This match was called a no contest. There was no winner at the end of the match, but that was not the end of NXT. As they were fighting backstage at Full Sail, I think it was my first time actually seeing that, where we seen extended brawl backstage. This brawl was about nearly 5 minutes. Nikki Cross was hitting Asuka's head off the off of one of those steel doors that opens up where freight trucks come in, pretty much. Asuka reversed it on Nikki. And pretty much she was banging Nikki's head on that same steel door as well. At one point, Nikki was trying to drown Asuka in a fucking water cooler, pretty much. Not really a water cooler, but an ice chest, you can say. And speaking of chest, Asuka's boobs were wet after that. A Japanese woman with water all over her chest. That's great stuff, WWE. I ain't complaining. They come back out to the arena. They were fighting near the announcer's table, and they went up to the to the electrical equipment area where the audio visual area of the arena down in Full Sail. And at the end, we saw Nikki Cross hit a cross body to Asuka and they were a little bit elevated. They're probably about 8-10 feet up in the air, and they fall through a table. And that was the end of NXT. So I'm thinking that we may see Asuka versus Nikki Cross in a one-on-one contest for the tapings, because obviously it's going to be Asuka versus Ember Moon at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That is going to be the obvious thing. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn will be Asuka versus Ember Moon. They're not going to skip out on that match. They're building that up. They're building that up tremendously right now. Where if I agree if Ember Moon is going to take the title off Asuka or not, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I truly believe that we're going to see Asuka versus Nikki Cross in a one-on-one contest before NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That's going to be somewhere in the July tapings, guys. So be sure to look out for that match, because this feud is not over. It is not over by any stretch between Asuka and Nikki Cross. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for me. That was your NXT for June 14, 2017. Show overall was a good watch. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible, but it was a good watch tonight. Easy watch. But we're gonna see on how everything is going to pan out here from this point forward, going into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. But guys, I'm gonna go and get out of here. Be sure to leave me a thumbs up. Go check out my Raw, SmackDown tomorrow. I will say sometime in the evening, because I'm gonna record it tonight after this here. I'm gonna record my my WWE Money in the Bank prediction. So you'll probably see that sometime tomorrow evening, probably around like 3-4 o'clock, maybe in the middle of the day sometime. You'll be seeing those predictions going up live on the channel here. Friday is the Game Over podcast. Saturday is our top 10 for the week, and Sunday is your Money in the Bank 2017 pay-per-view review, and it's gonna be live here on YouTube. But guys, that's it for me. If you did like this here, be sure to leave me a thumbs up on your way out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page, where both links are down below. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.